Okay, so our grand topic for today is all about unconditional love. How does it work in a relationship? Where does it not work in a relationship? Very surprisingly enough, as we were talking last week, Rory just mentioned to forget about it, forget unconditional love, which probably sounds very shocking for most of us because we really only expect like the most loving and whole embracing, and so that's completely surprising. So I am deeply curious what how you see unconditional love, and I've got a few other thoughts that kind of wrap in with this, the whole good girl thing and being part of a high demand community spiritually or and socially in any other way.
Well, maybe you could prompt me on these different aspects. And by the way, not everyone has had a chance to meet Natalina. So every time, we do this, I want to introduce you. This is the great Natalina Love. And I've known Natalina for a very long time now. She's, I think, a coach from 2015. And she is just somebody I look forward to seeing every minute of any day, an incredible coach. But even more than that, she basically has a feel for how how lives should be run, how my life should be run in terms of how Siren School should be run, and that's why she's this director of Siren School. And so every time you see her here, she's also primary coach on Siren Island, and she runs the Siren Circle trainings and basically takes my RCT graduates to the whole other level where they become professional. So thank you, Natalina, for being here and basically working with me here in this. Conditional love. What's the first thing that feels really important to you about that?
Being loved no matter what. No matter what. Like you could do nothing wrong.
Very, very cool. All right. So unconditional, what you said was really fabulous because you were talking about wanting to be unconditionally loved
Mm-hmm.
by a man or your parents or your child, but especially your man. And of course, if you're going to be unconditionally loved, you have to actually unconditionally love them as well.
Ooh.
That's how it works. Everybody is judgmental and everybody is self-judgmental. It doesn't just disappear because you want to be an upstanding person. We call that basically coating over everything and stuffing all the garbage underneath. And we don't want to do that. We want to bring all the judgment and all the anger and all the crappy feelings that everybody has and attitudes to. I mean, when things are going bad routinely, it's so natural to fall into a crappy attitude, really, where everything you see is like, yuck. And then you have to say something, wait a minute. Why am I doing that? So that is the key to it, basically. I believe that we are all unconditionally loved by the universe because we're here and alive. And all you have to do is go, well, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm on this planet. I am unconditionally loved. I'm still here. I may be experiencing all kinds of crappy stuff, um, but that is just the trajectory of my life. It's happenstance. It's if you have faith, it is maybe not a learning process, but is just part of life and it has no meaning at all. And you have to build a philosophy around all the crap that you're experiencing. And we can talk about that in another session because that is really crucial. If you're faith based, if you're not faith based, then you're going to go, well, this is random. This just happened. And then things start to collect after a while. Living without faith is of some kind and something bigger than you, even if it's the redwood forest, which I go to a lot, um, makes you feel very at the mercy of whims. And it really makes, I know it makes me, if I'm ever in that space, it makes me feel at the mercy of my decisions. And if I made poor or misguided or mistaken or decisions that did not turn out well, I'm going to get all judgmental and blame me about myself. I'm going to get all guilt ridden about myself. When you feel guilt ridden and like blaming yourself and ragging on yourself and dissing yourself and beating yourself up for everything, because if you start with even one little thing, you do for everything, it's like going down a rabbit hole. So if unconditional love is up here on the surface looking at trees and going, well, I'm alive, you're standing in front of me, wow, I just feel love for you as a person, even though right now I want to hit you and knock your head off, even though I want to kill this cat because she is so annoying, I can flip totally into, oh my God, she's a cat. She's my cat. I love her. And it's really, really easy to get stuck in one of those. I'd
Hmm.
rather get stuck in, oh, I love the cat, but stuck in the shell of it without the feeling of it. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm supposed to love the cat. I'm going to love the cat, but really inside I'm going, I'm going to kick her. And that's how people end up kicking their cats and their dogs, because they're not feeling the crap. So unconditional love of any kind does not come without some crappy feelings and judgments and everything else. The only difference is you catch it. You go, whoa, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm going not into Alice's rabbit hole, which is wonderful and magical, but I'm going down the crap mat hole. I'm going down that crap pit. I'm heading into the pit all right off my bridge. And if you don't know what bridging is, that is the whole commitment blueprint program. That is based on something I call bridging. And it's an amazing tool that I can't even begin to explain here, except to say that you are on a trajectory of your desire, of your choice towards your happy ever after. And you do not want to get waylaid by some guy. You don't want to get pulled off, and you're going to experience the pits, which is falling off your bridge. All right. So when you're in a pit, um, maybe, Natalina, you can use the tunnel tool at some point, really work it through with us while we're
Okay.
doing this, because that, when you're down in the pit, you're down in the bottom of the wet, stinky tunnel, and air is up at the top. And, you got a choice at that moment. Am I going to look for the jewels embedded in this tunnel? Or am I going to scream and just cry and curl up in a ball? Can I curl up in a ball and, read a book? Can I, if I don't have a book with me, can I curl up on the wall and make up a book in my, can I count the things on the walls? What can I do at the bottom of a pit other than complain?
Mm.
Because I think what we're talking about here with unconditional love is the very opposite of unconditional love, which is love for being alive, love for yourself, that is the place where you can expand into, rather than I'm so miserable. Why is this happening? The cranky person, and I think there's a show, Larry, somebody did a TV show about a guy who just, all he does is complain. It's all he does. And it's really easy actually to fall into that. And you can fall into it in your head and in your heart and in your feelings, but then speak lies like, oh, hi, yeah. Then it says, how was your day? And you want to go, crap, I wanted to kick things. I feel terrible, but oh, it was fine. How about you? So you're lying all the time. We don't want to do that either. We want to actually switch the way things feel to you by switching, what you're going to entertain, which is a new tool I'm going to unveil at the Want Masterclass, the Feminine Want Masterclass, and the Feminine Want course. We're coming up in December and January. So join me there. But what you're going to entertain is a whole new tool around what other people call focus or affirmations or manifesting or anything like that. So we're going to entertaining, which is extremely feminine energy based. So I hope that did I kind of
Yeah.
give you
No,
all the angles of it there?
I like that. The only thing that I didn't quite I was kind of hoping for is in this whole thing, like, shouldn't we be unconditional loving of a man, like if especially if we're married to them, or and I've heard this from people very, very close to me, and so when this topic came up, I'm like, ooh, what could that even look like? Does that even, I mean, yeah, like when you started talking about we want that unconditional love, and for some reason that wasn't even on my mind. It's true though. It is true.
Well, let's walk through that. Let's
Okay.
walk through it like, it was talking to you out there. Is All right, let's start with, he does something yucky. He does something and you suddenly know that he did something and says something yucky because you have a reaction. All right, so your first step is, what am I reacting? What am I doing? I'm clenching somewhere. I'm clenching my teeth. I'm clenching my mouth. I'm clenching in here. I'm feeling something. Well, what am I feeling? Am I feeling upset and crying? Am I feeling anxious? Like I gotta fix this right now? Gotta fix it? Am I feeling um angry? How dare you? How dare you talk to me like that? You do this all the time. I hate it. Okay. So first, you identify that you're having a reaction, you find it in your body, and you uh, give the feelings a name for the feelings. And by the time you get to there, you will see all the different options you have, which is what you entertain, how you decide to respond. Well, the easy way is nothing. Don't say anything. Just let it sit. But 99% of the time, if we don't say anything, we're just stuffing. We don't want to stuff crap down.
Mhm.
We want to experience it. I feel crappy, blah, 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 blah. And you will learn to then speak, ooh, that feels crappy. I feel crappy hearing that. I feel crappy. Now, the first couple times you do that, guess what? He's going to construe that as blame. He's going to take that as, I did something wrong, and you will have made him wrong, even with a feeling message.
Mhm.
So you have to get used to it, and you have to be much deeper. You can't just say, well, I didn't like what just got said there. There's a first one, is going to be a wrong making one. And what we're trying to move away from is wrong making. We remember in the whole siren method, we work from the inside out, feelings to words to actions, and work from the outside in, which is input. Input. Oh, now I'm feeling something. Oh, I'm feeling that now. Oh my God, I'm feeling this deeper. Okay, got it. So you want to work in both directions. So you stop for a moment and you go, am I, and your anger boils up and you go, I'm feeling angry. Well, maybe there's more than I'm angry. I feel angry. I feel disappointed that you didn't say something nice to me.
Mm.
And now I'm saying, you said something nice, didn't say something nice to me. He did something wrong. You start identifying the wrong thing. You did the wrong thing, words that come up for you, and you work your way through until you've scripted something pure. Like, when you did that, when you said that, I felt okay. That is a technique, words that's great, but first time out, he's probably going to react to that. So, first time out, you may want to go, ooh, I'm feeling stuff. Now, there's no way on earth any man could construe that as, I did something wrong.
Ooh.
I'm feeling stuff. Now, notice how neutral I am. I'm not going, I'm feeling stuff. I'm not feeling stuff. But like, I'm feeling anger and I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling, now remember, we haven't moved to unconditional love yet. We haven't moved to that label yet. We're just identifying the feelings and then finding some way to express it that is as deep as possible. That does not include, you did this, you did that. But that has I'm feeling stuff. And you can say, I'm feeling stuff. He'll go, now the good man's going to go, what? What do you mean? What are you feeling? I'm feeling all kinds of feelings. It goes, well, say something, but still, he's not feeling accused. And you go, I feel disappointed and angry and frustrated. And I feel really, really cranky, you know? And by the time you get all those words and all those feelings stated, you're going to realize you also feel love. And that's how you get there. In other words, love is at the bottom of everything. It's at the bottom of anger. It's the bottom of fear. It's about of everything. I'm afraid because I love my life the way it is. And I'm afraid something's going to change. I'm afraid somebody's going to hurt me. I have love for what I'm doing right now. And I feel afraid that if I get sick, it would wreck everything. That's everything's coming from there. And all you want to do is access the depth of it, not the circumstance. Well, I'm afraid because this will happen and I'll get, and then this thing will happen. That's small, but I'm afraid that I'm going to die. I mean, that's where we're all at, right? I'm afraid I'll be gone. I'm afraid you'll be gone. I'm afraid I'll be alone. Deep shit, right? That's what we want to feel down to. Think of it like this as a spiral, take your hand to your mouth and then just kind of spiral down into your belly, all the way into your vagina. That's, you want to find the feelings that are down there. You can tell by speaking while you're going down there, and your voice will change. You'll breathe more deeply. You will slow down automatically. And it'll happen for the desire of sinking into something deeper. So you're going to find that, oh, I'm feeling stuff. I'm feeling confused. I'm feeling disappointed. I'm feeling all kinds of stuff. And then you're going to get down to what we're going to talk about, the want. You're going to find out what you really want. I want you to hug me. I want a hug. I don't want to be corrected. This correction doesn't feel good. Well, you can't say those words the first time because you're not used to it. Being able to really communicate with a guy means establishing a real sanctuary relationship that I've talked about before, but a real line of open communication. And you have to train each other to do that properly. You're not going to get it like the advanced or first time out of the box, but you're going to get the deep stuff out, and then he'll learn and you'll learn. So you start saying, I feel this, I feel that, and then you're going to realize, and I want to feel close to you. See? And I love, you look very sexy right now. And I feel warmly towards you. And you know what? I love you. I just want to feel love. And that's what will actually come up for you. There's your unconditional love right there. It took a while to get down to it. It's not a high-minded thing. We got to get rid of this high-minded spiritual stuff that's up here. Oh, I'm going to have unconditional love for you. I want you to work the other way, where you're working down through your body until you actually connect with that feeling of love. And then you'll realize not only is it unconditional, it's just all pervasive. It's at the bottom of everything. And what you want is to feel love, to feel loved. Okay, so what happened with him was that you didn't feel loved. You felt angry, you felt disappointed, you felt other things, and you wanted to feel loved. So once you start getting that and start saying that to him, I love you. I feel love, and I feel disappointed, and I have to leave the room. After you learn how to do these things by trying them on your coach, trying them with your coach, that is how you practice it. Trying with your friends, trying it in the group classes we do, in the workshops that we do, so that you can practice these kinds of scripts that work at your level, and then get more and more advanced as you train him and he gets used to it. And he's going to just automatically get defensive right off. So you want to learn how to let that happen. Oh, I feel how upset you are. You have to learn. These things are practice, like practicing the piano. Okay. Communication is an art that you are about to learn with him, which is why I never say just leave a guy if you don't want to, because I'm not going to get you to leave him. Practice with him. Okay.
So
I so that's how unconditional love works. You get to that feeling rather than you try to work from that feeling. Does that make sense? Rather than trying to operate.
yeah,
And once you get used to finding the feeling, then you choose it faster. Things happen faster. I felt upset and then I go, oh, let me go to that love place. That feels so much better. And pretty soon you're not angry at the cat anymore, or angry at him anymore, or angry at the mail that you just got, or angry at the response you just got on your business. You're going to feel that and you're going to go, yeah, that's always the first thing. But then I come to, oh, but I love myself and I love the work I do. And you know what? I love animals. And I'm looking at her differently. Look at her eyes. I wonder what she needs. And that's how things change. The only problem is when you get stuck in the other feeling stuff and you stop at that rather than exploring the rest of your soup.
that right there. Because I mean, I should be feeling love, because like that can be a whole loop of mind trap. But the whole, instead of I need to be above these feelings, going, you know what? I'm just going to sink down. I'm just going to sink down. I'm sinking, I'm sinking, I'm sinking, I'm sinking. I'm sinking into the muck and the mire of all of the things that I feel, because if I can touch this, then eventually I'll hit joy.
Yes, yes. And just to mention one thing, this sounds too simple and too easy to so many of you who are really suffering, who've had one bad relationship after another, who have been verbally abused by a guy, maybe physically abused, who are meeting only jerks out there, who are just really tired of being alone and of getting broken up. And it's starting to feel like you can't do anything right. So you're making you're getting up every morning, putting on makeup and trying to be above it, trying to go, okay, we'll do another day. Well, I know how that feels. I've been around long enough to know how that feels. And I also know how it feels to be conflicted when you're in a good relationship, because everything we've learned since we were little girls tells us that we're supposed to feel something else or differently. And everything about feminism and the revolution that is happening in the world right now, this is a big deal. What is happening is what I've always said was we needed to make happen, which is we need to find our power and talk to men from there rather than suiting ourselves up when we're at work. We should be wearing whatever cute dresses we want to wear. And we should absolutely talk to men with respect and honor, the way we talk to our own selves, and listen to them, but they don't get to make our decisions anymore. And this is very, very hard to come to terms with. Over the whole world, men, even though they are less powerful than we are, and in villages all over the world, women are running those villages, and still men make their decisions. And we can't let that happen in the United States. We can't let that happen in Europe. We can't let that happen anywhere in the world. And there are women starting to fight now. And unfortunately, it's violent at this point because that's what's happening. So we need a philosophy to accept that that is what's happening in the name of feminine freedom. And we are all in that trap. And I really want you all to know you are ready to give up whatever other things you love for a man in a flash.
Oh yeah. It happens so
It
it
happens
happens so
so
just in an instant too.
It does. I've lost brilliant coaches right out of RCT who just left for a guy, who just and married men and men who treated them poorly to begin with. I mean, shocking situations. In other words, to me, that is not a choice. That is not entertaining. That's saying I would rather be loved than do my work. Because, yeah, sure. Of course. I'd rather go live on an island and be loved than, be successful. Who wouldn't? But if I had to choose, there's no reason why you can't do both. But sometimes in different parts of your life, yeah, you do want to choose. However, the way you approach that relationship can't be out of deference. Oh, you're there to love me? Oh my goodness. Well, then I'll just do whatever you want. I'll be the person you want. Because in actuality, men do not fall in love with that woman. And that's what we are all instinctively. If we had overbearing fathers, or if we had weak fathers and we had overbearing mothers, we had somebody telling us what to do. You know, very few of us were flower children from birth. We
Wait,
tried to
and
become them.
yeah, and even hearing this like second, third hand of, oh, well, I would love to be with a girl like this, or if there was only a woman like such and such. Like, I remember hearing this stuff and being like, okay, got my blueprint, and then I didn't get it. I did not get the attention or the love I wanted. They did not even see me. So, I mean, like,
Because
what blueprint? Yeah.
you were like trying to be a movie character. Who of us have not tried to be movie characters instead of who we are? And so we get to middle age, some of us, and don't even know who we are. We have to start over again
Oh,
and
yeah.
start finding ourselves. And what I want for everybody is to find yourself. So unconditional love for yourself is your first step. Self-loving, self-romancing. And what that looks like is you take a moment to breathe and go down inside those feelings and find what those feelings genuinely are, even if you think they're stupid. You may be jumpy because of hormonal issues. You may be feeling this and it all feels wrong to you. Feel it. Feel it, and then you'll pass down through it until you get to the love. You go, I love myself. I love what I did yesterday. I had a moment the other day where I felt guilty that I had not kept my dog from experiencing an illness that he had to get treated for. And you know there were so many different ways to go during the time that occurred. um eh, I could absorb that guilt. And then I realized, well, it's not that I feel guilt, but I feel responsible. I feel responsible for my dog. However, I don't feel responsible for my husband. Well,
Hmm.
how does that work? Well, that, in the Course of Miracles and other things, the dog is not my dog. The dog has chosen to walk with me, and I am the person who can take care of him as best I can. It's a different look than responsible. I am responsible for my child. It is very hard to go A Course of Miracles on these things. I mean, you feel responsible and you feel all of that weight. And sometimes you just want to slough it off, but you feel it all. So I was weighed down by those feelings of guilt and running myself down. And I went, wait a minute. And we can talk about this next time. And I went, life review, life review. We all tend to go life review just out of the blue, right? And it's always bad. Life review. I remember when that guy did that to me, and remember when I screwed up that relationship, and remember when I screwed up that job. And we go through a self running down
If
of,
only. If
of
only I
that.
was
Yeah,
indifferent.
life review. So what you do, I can't, you can also do it in reverse. I went, whoa, that was an awful situation. And whoa, I was very brave. I went, yeah, anybody could see that I was brave. I was really brave in that moment. I'm not making it up, and I'm not, sugarcoating me, or I was brave. Why am I ignoring the fact that I was brave then and saying that I'm not brave? And I was. I was absolutely brave. Well, that's as soon as I said that, I went, my subconscious is not disagreeing with me. I was brave. Doesn't mean I was brave yesterday, but I was brave 2 years ago in that moment. That's interesting. So then life review comes up at the end, and I saw that tree. I was really there seeing the tree. I did a painting that somebody loved. Well, if nobody loved it, what is my assessment of that painting? Well, I had fun painting it. I actually was involved in painting it. And you know what? I like it. I like it. I like the painting. Well, what is so all this is like life review in the uplift.
Mm.
So all of this is related to this unconditional love thing. Can you tell that I'm not coming from, oh, I need to trust myself. Oh, I need to believe in myself. Because what happens is you split yourself. There's the part of you that wants to feel not angry, but actually you feel pissed. The part of you that wants to feel expanded and capable, and yet feels like you can't even do the simplest thing. The one that wants to feel strong and healthy and wise and actually just wants to sit and watch TV and fall into a little pit. All of those things, you can't imagine that and then hope that it'll change what your state is. What happens is when you imagine that, then you start judging that you're not there because your subconscious knows you are not there. But
Mm.
it's not because you're there. It You have all of these options for feelings and thought. It's because you've chosen to entertain a certain set of them that don't feel like unconditional love. So when you look at him and you have a choice of liking the way he looks and checking in with what you feel, you may feel a little, ooh, for a moment and then damp that down. And then, oh, he did that awful thing yesterday. And then he doesn't look attractive. You can choose your filter. You can choose, well, I'll entertain the one that felt good instead. Yeah, look at his eyes. Okay. And I remember he did that awful thing yesterday. Yeah, but then he did this nice thing today. Which one am I going to entertain? And you just slowly pull yourself together up into the better feeling place that way. And I got to tell you, if you just take it that way, it works fast. You can get feeling more unconditional love in days.
Hmm.
And for me, aches and pains are like the thing that trigger me downhill because then I feel old and I feel weak and I feel fragile and I don't like it. So I'm entertaining that idea. Then ache and pain means I'm weak and old and not cute and this, that, and the other. Wrong, doing something wrong, and then I transfer that to, well, he's doing something wrong. Instead, I can go, wait a minute. This is just an experience I'm having. It's just information I'm having right now. And I can kind of see that however I want. Well, gee, that book looks really good. And I just walk over and pick up that book. That's not a distraction. That is a choice of what you're going to entertain. And
Hmm.
you want to, when you find yourself lurching around, moving quickly from one thing to another, stop because that is you trying to find the best thing up there. You need to get it in here. And if you don't feel like settling down with something like meditating, then settle down with washing the dishes slowly and watching the water run. Settle for rearranging the books on your shelf. Anything that feels fun.
That's some brilliant little ways to just kind of fall into love with ourselves, fall into love with life. And I'm very excited actually to hear more about the whole life philosophy thing. So, um,
Well,
that
let's do that. Obviously, we need to continue this. And it's time. I've done all the talking. Anything you want to add?
Not today. Not today. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just that whole sinking in process. Wherever that is, wherever you find yourself, and I've been writing comments here about just where are you at when you find yourself in that place of maybe I do have something to say. Um, when you find yourself in that space of something is wrong, or and maybe even easier is I'm complaining. Like that's my cue. That's my cue to just sink down, to maybe even get yourself on the ground and go, I am sinking down into this. Like imagine yourself in like never ending story, the pit of sadness where you're just sinking down into it. Like, and what if that whole pit was love? Maybe we don't know that yet, but like just feeling it glomp over your whole self until you're down into a cavern. What is this deeper, deeper, deeper down place? It could be anywhere. Like, let yourself in your imagination feel that out. Let yourself feel that out first and see just in this space how you move from something is wrong, I'm complaining, to oh my gosh, I'm complaining, that's my cue to go into my Rory Ray siren place. That is something that certainly helped me, is if I can see this as a cue, then what's my next step, what happens after this. And if we have that little bit of this is what's next, even if I don't know the big picture, then I can soften. Dare I say, relax just a tiny little bit and come down into this place of what else is here? Where's the joy? Where's the gift? Because it's there, and you can baby step your way out. So, what
I
is the
love that. Natalie, that was brilliant. I love that. That was a great tool. And um, yeah. And you know what you brought up for me? And then we'll go just to close, the concept of heaven and hell. Heaven above us and hell's below. So maybe with that concept, we're all trying to go above our heads and afraid of going down deep. What if it was the reverse? What if hell is kind of in the middle here and heaven is below?
I love how you shake things up. I love it.
What if it was? What if there is no shape? There is no above and below. What if we don't know how the universe is shaped? Anyway, play around with that.
Okay.
Love to you, Natalina. See you next week.